Hello, and this is Kelly, Angie, and Rose, and we're going to have our little Once Upon a Time chat on our own website, We Love TV. Angie?
We are going to be reviewing Episode 8, Desperate Souls.
Uh-huh. Okay, go.
Alright, so the theme of the episode is pretty much that now that Graham is dead, they need a new sheriff, and Emma decides she wants the position, a fact that Regina's not too happy about.
I think that's probably the whole reason why she wanted to do it initially.
Well, I actually read another one from the actress herself, talking about to Emma getting the sheriff position is how she stays close to Graham. You know, Graham died trying to get away from Regina, so letting Regina have the position back would kind of be making his death pointless.
Mm-hmm.
So,
excuse me.
Sure.
But I mean, in the episode, she later reveals that it's because she wants to be close to Henry.
She wants to keep a position in his life.
Exactly.
And one thing I would like to, before we get too far into the discussion, is quite a few people were complaining about the fact that a Rumpel found in the charter that a mayor could only appoint a candidate, not appoint a sheriff. And I read people complain that plot point didn't make any sense. That's actually part of the government system. Is you cannot hire a sheriff. A sheriff is an elected position. So that's actually correct. That's not a random plot point. That's the correct plot point.
Cool. Good researching.
I thought it was a good twist actually myself. I mean, I don't know American politics in any way, shape, or form, but I kind of liked it.
And as a drama moment when she bursts into Regina's office and goes, "You can't do that."
Yeah. It's like, ha! There you go, Reggie. What are you going to do now?
But the other thing I'm thinking about is why would you want to appoint a 50-year-old newspaper guy as your sheriff?
Because that's a mirror on the wall.
I know, but I mean, if you think about it logically, it's like you edit the newspaper.
Well, it's because she wants to completely control everybody in the town.
Oh, definitely.
And she can't control Emma at all.
Go very well. I mean, the apple tree.
Yes. Going back to my favourite part in the show, the cutting down of the apple tree.
She needs to go back and take the rest of that tree.
Yes.
It's like, dude, it's like Regina's made a lot of war moves now. Go take the rest of the tree.
I don't know. I think she should go and cut off a branch every time Regina's horrible.
That's work. Punishment.
Okay. Of course, in this episode, we were learning how Rumpelstiltskin becomes this evil, twisted character.
And it was really fun to watch, too.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's strange parallels, isn't it? Because he was such this wussy, really, really wussy character, and then all of a sudden, he's... Wow. That's the only word I can find. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, like, Rumpel's the classic example of you back anyone into too desperate a corner, they're going to end up doing something really, really stupid. And I think that's going to end up being a parallel for a storybook as they go along, is Regina and Gold are going to keep backing people like Emma and Mary into these corners, and eventually they're going to discover it's going to prompt even nice people like Mary to do things they normally wouldn't do, because they want to survive. Basically human instinct.
That is what happened to Snow White when she was in the forest and she was playing Robin White Hood. Because that really wasn't her at all, like stealing from people and living in the woods and stuff, being a super tough girl. Because she seemed like really kind of like the opposite of that before the Queen tried to kill her. So she already had to change because of that.
Yeah.
She seemed a lot more like in a couple flashbacks in episode 7, she was a lot more like Mary Margaret in that she was nice and she was kind and she wasn't somewhat snarky and...
I do like the kick-ass Snow, though. I really love that character.
Yes, that's awesome.
And, of course, in this episode, Rumpel is trying to protect his son, but towards the end, it's indicated that his name is what?
His name is Balefire.
It's indicated that this child is probably not his by that old guy.
The creepy old one.
And I just had this random thought that he's actually Prince Charming's dad. Which would explain his interest in him.
Yeah, and it would explain where he got the first Prince Charming. Go, he'll have a baby. Because he had to have gotten him from somewhere. Besides just buying them from a farmer.
And I don't know. Maybe that's why he's got this sort of obsession with people's first child, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got a definite obsession with children in general.
So, I mean, it could be a number of things.
So you think that after his wife left him when he ran away from the war, and he was really lonely, so he just went out and found a kid?
Possibly.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe she took the real kid with her and just left some orphan kid there and pretended it was his.
Because also, I mean, the thing about Rumpel's backstory is it actually raises more questions than answers.
Yeah.
He's such a complicated character.
But that's good, though, because it gives us gives the writers lots of material. We don't want to know everything right away. We want there to be mysteries.
Of course, my mom had an interesting theory about Gold and Rumpel, is now that if the queen only took one kingdom and she didn't take the whole realm, if Rumpel's the Dark One, he's had power in all these different places. And he's been stagnating in Storybrooke for 30 years. It's like, I need to get back, and I need to get back, I need to go back to what I was doing. So that's why he keeps trying to push everyone into remembering, dropping little hints. If you look at any character who remembered or almost remembered, Gold was pushing them in the direction of remembering the fairy tale. Like when David was...
Maybe he has a plot to get his powers back.
Stagnating 30 years.
Yeah.
You're bored.
Excuse me.
Excuse you. Bless you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay.
Are we recording?
Angie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We could talk about the knife now. Which it was cool because they twisted the whole name thing, kind of, because the name in the original fairy tale, Rumpelstiltskin's name was sort of like his power. People didn't know it, and then once they knew his name, then it like broke the spell. And so this one with the Dark One, Sozo was his name.
Yeah.
If you knew his name, then you had power over him, and the name was written on the knife. And then after Sozo tricked Rumpel into calling his name and killing him, Rumpel's name was on the knife, meaning that anyone who has the knife. You went robot really bad.
Yeah, I said they need to have the knife as well as the name.
Yes, because everyone knows his name already.
Exactly.
And and
so there's a lot of stories where people's names have a lot of power over them. Like, in Aragon, which I absolutely adore, it's people. If you find out someone's true name, you have the power over them. But it takes a lot of practice to try and figure out someone's true name.
Well, you see a similar concept in a lot of the urban fanfics. My little sister's a ridiculously huge fan. In a lot of them, you don't dare tell other mythological beings your real name, or even your whole name, or they'll get control over you.
Yeah.
Because that could explain why Rumpel's so big into making all the very, very convoluted deals. It's because if people know his name, he has to have other ways to control them.
Yes.
Other things on them.
Exactly.
So what do we think, where do we think the knife is now? Do we think that Rumpel still has it on him? Is it lost somewhere?
Maybe he hid it somewhere.
Maybe that's what he was burying.
Ooh.
In episode 7, because he was clearly burying something, and one does not garden in the middle of the woods.
No.
Not generally.
That's an interesting theory. I like that.
Yeah, it's because, I mean, something like that, he wouldn't want Regina getting her hands on that. It would be bad.
That would
Very
be rather bad, yes. Please wouldn't work on that one, I don't think.
No.
Of course, it might, because she already made the promise. If he says please about anything, she has to do what he wants.
She's like, ha 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 ha, I've got knife, I've got control of you. Please give it back, Regina. Oh, I hate you.
That could also work with the deal he has with Emma, too. If something ever happened and Regina, say she found the name and she had control over him, he could possibly make a deal with Emma and get her to kill him, maybe? Or to kill Regina. Either one. There's so many things that they could do with that deal. I like the killing Regina idea the best. Your idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want Emma to go be the dark one. That's not good. Regina is always a good idea.
Mm-hmm, yeah, but if
unless Regina wants more power.
That oh dear, that actually works really really well. I can work that into my post-it thing. That works really well with the theme. I was awesome. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see Regina wanting the knife to try and kill Rumpel so that she could be ultimately powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I could see her wanting all her evil queen powers plus wanting the evil one, and of course that actually ties into one of the things I was talking to my mom about. One of the things I like about Once is they're going down a classical fairy tale path. Because if you look at all the old fairy tales, evil was this huge, overpowering menace. It wasn't something easily dealt with, and that was what made the good guys so impressive for standing up. And in this one, they're really making Gold and Regina to be this huge menace. I mean, no matter what you do, you're playing into one or the other one's hands.
Yeah.
I mean, even when you try to get away from them and stand up to them, you're playing into their hands.
Yeah.
That's a really nice analogy. Yeah. Ew.
Okay.
And one of the other things that came up in the episode is after the death in episode 7, Henry got very, 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 very shaken, and he actually wanted to stop Operation Cobra, which actually probably because he was afraid that if he kept taunting the Queen, she would ultimately kill more people.
Try and kill his mum. Well, he's worried about his mum, isn't he?
Mm-hmm, definitely. But the problem is he's already started the chain reaction. Time is already moving. So even if they stopped Operation Cobra, it wouldn't stop what he already started.
Yes.
Because I'd actually had another thought I had before when I was trying to get ready for bed the other night, is in episode 7, Regina killed Graham trying to stop him before he could tell anyone what he'd remembered. But I think what that's ultimately going to do is to stabilize her close further, because now she's killed someone, which has never happened as far as we can tell before, and it's going to alarm people even more. Plus, before he died, he was putting things into Mary's head that Mary's going to be trying to figure out. And so, have I ever met you? Well, did I? You know, I think it's going to destabilize her even further.
Yeah. Yeah, it started another ripple. That's for sure.
Ripple.
Yes.
I like ripples.
And okay. So, as Angie pointed out, David gets a new job. Right, Angie?
Yes, and it's very sad that the job market is so bad that you have to wait for someone to die before you can get one.
I'm sorry. Considering that was a volunteer position, that's really sad.
Where is he working, Angie?
What about Dory?
I said, where is he working?
Oh, he's working at the animal shelter.
I'm just Dory's there.
And I have a feeling that I wonder if maybe there's like a special sort of like secret like underwater aquarium, and maybe that's where the Little Mermaid, maybe she volunteers there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I really think that Dr. Whale got reported for being abusive to his fish Dory. They now have Dory in the animal shelter.
Poor Dory.
Dory must be very large then. The goldfish are not a whole lot he could do.
Wow.
And then the other thing that happened that should be mentioned of is Emma had a chance to leave Regina to die, and Emma didn't. And then to boot, Regina had the gall to complain about how she'd been rescued.
I love the moment though where when the fire is first discovered and Regina is like, "You have to save me," and then Emma just kind of like looks at her and then she like turns and walks off, and you're like, "Yes, she's gonna leave her to die," but then she comes back with a fire extinguisher. So.
Yeah, I mean,
I just saw that the confusion on her face. She was like,
"Yeah,
oh crap, I have got to save her." Dang.
The bottom line is leaving Regina to die would have been a bad message to Henry. I mean, honestly, I think that's what prompted Emma more than anything. Was I don't like you, but I want to be a good example for Henry. So I guess I gotta save you.
Yeah.
It also proved that Emma is actually the bigger person, because
definitely.
she was willing to save someone she utterly detested just because that's what decent, normal
It's
human
the right
beings
thing to do. It's the right thing to do.
That's an interesting little bit too.
Mhm. And of course, Emma wins the election.
We're standing up to gold.
Yes.
It's pretty epic.
Because like Gold said, everybody dislikes Regina, but they are terrified of him.
Well, because he's one of those guys. I mean, he's so quiet, and he actually also he's kind of a sickly guy, but he's got this mind that you have no idea who or what he does or doesn't know. So he's got definitely the uncertainty of, do you know or don't you know, and what will you do with the information that you have?
Mhm. He's kind of a scary character, really.
Mhm, definitely.
But very interesting to watch. He makes the show.
yeah, he's one of the best characters on there."
Mm.
And also, I mean, you don't know what camp he's in, because, I mean, sometimes he seems to be helping out Regina. Other times he seems to be helping out Operation Cobra. It's like, really, what's your motivation? Whose side are you on, or are you just on your side and help out whoever is convenient to you at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he has a master plan worked out. I think he's just going with the flow.
To whatever benefits him the most.
Yeah. But I don't know. Could be wrong. He could have this huge, really epic, grand, wonderful secret plan.
Quite possibly.
But in fewer words than what I just used.
I don't know. I think he would use lots of words like that.
Yeah, but I mean, give him a few words, he'd probably have fun. Middle of talking to someone, pulls out his big word.
He's kind of like a guilty pleasure, isn't he? Like he's kind of like this really bad guy, but it's just you love him.
It's because it's kind of like some of the other shows out there. All the characters are horrible, but you have so much fun because the story's so good. That's kind of him on a small scale.
Yeah.
He's this utterly horrible individual, but he's so gleefully horrible. You just have to love him because there's no pretense. With Regina, she's so busy trying to convince everyone I was justified, I was this, I was that. With Gold.
But also, with finding out his history, you actually feel sorry for him because he was just trying to do the right thing.
Yes, but I also, even when Gold rumpled down the line, he's so unapologetic about what he is. Yeah. He is basically, this is what I am. You make a deal with me. You're entering into a set of agreements that you made. Don't complain to me when you don't like it. And he's so. I think that's what attracts people to him more than anything is the twisted honesty. He's a horrible person, but he admits it.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't like.
But he became the person he is because he was trying to protect his family.
Yes. Which
ultimately is the good that's within him. And maybe when he has these little lapses in judgment, like helping Emma, he's being the person that he really should be.
Because also, he really seems drawn to protect the Emma-Henry bond.
Yes.
I think that's because it reminds him of his own kids, and keeping in that life. And cause, he has these little moments of humanity. Or like you said, there's these little moments of humanity.
And if my theory is right, he's looking out for his grandchildren.
Definitely. But the question is, I would love to get an answer to down the line, is when Regina wanted the baby 10 years earlier, that would actually fit into your theory for protecting his grandkids, because he had to go find Henry, who was in Phoenix in a jail cell. It's like that's a lot of effort to go find one. I mean,
he could have got a kid anywhere.
Exactly. I mean,
so I think he knew, because he had his memories. He knew of Emma, and he watched her from a distance all her life. And then when he had that opportunity to take Henry, he knew it would draw her back.
Of course.
And he knew this battle would commence.
Of course, I mean, yes?
I was saying he couldn't have gotten Henry himself because Emma didn't seem to have any memory of him at all. Unless he
had an agent.
Yeah. So who actually... she said that he got the baby so maybe she put him up for adoption first and then he got him from the adoption agency? I don't know. Or he used some kind of mind-melting ring or something that made her forget.
Or he had a disguise.
That would work.
Possibly, yeah. Who knows? He might have something that can change his appearance.
Of course, the other thing that wouldn't surprise me...
He's kind of magic, so yeah.
Yeah.
But the other thing that wouldn't surprise me is if he's the one that gave Henry the idea to steal the credit card and go to Boston. Because I can guarantee you, I'm sure Mary Margaret did not randomly hand Henry her credit card. No. The question is, why would Mary even have a credit card? There isn't exactly a whole lot of economy in Storybrooke. I mean, there's the diner and there's like a fish and chip shop and an animal shelter.
Maybe it's because she owed Gold money and she had to get a credit card to pay her back.
Possibly.
Maybe Gold sent it's a fake credit card and he sent her the application in the mail so that she'd have something for Henry to steal.
Yeah, because it wouldn't surprise me if he had his hand in that. He seems to have his hand in everything.
Oh yeah, he does. Regina, please, would you wash all of my dishes?
I honestly...
I'm afraid of that, shouldn't I? Regina, dearie, please wash all of my dishes.
That's better. And sniff my socks.
Oh my god, did you say sniff?
Yeah, I said sniff my socks.
I mean, I can't believe that Regina actually made that deal, because can you imagine how bad that could go? It's like, anything I say please do. It's like...
It shows her level of arrogance.
Exactly, she thought that no one would remember.
What? Well, like, I've been reading some interviews with the woman who plays Regina, trying to convince us, well, deep down, Regina, she really just this woman that wants to be loved and stuff like that, and I'm saying, well, that just makes the character even more pathetic, because she's evil and she's abusive, and she really just wants to be loved? It's like, okay, that's just getting really pathetic.
Going around it the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
To be loved, you kind of have to treat people the way you wish to be treated.
Well, it's like with Regina, she's one of these people, she wants to be loved and to have a loving relationship, but she's so terrified of letting go of her control that, that would, it's a bottom line, to have a relationship, you have to have a give and take. And she's so terrified to let anyone have any kind of control over her. She tries to... Yes? Sorry, I keep talking.
Does Regina have a heart?
No.
Good question. Withered black and thing.
Yeah, because I don't know, she just seems to be so cold and not understand what love is about.
The void in her caused by sealing the curse. She isn't capable of love anymore.
Mm-hmm. Because maybe it's like in a Pirates of the Caribbean with a Davy Jones. After he got dumped, he had cut out his heart and locked it away. Yeah. Maybe Regina did a similar thing, which is what gave her the idea to cut out everyone else's hearts.
Maybe.
Does that mean that in the collection there's her heart in those?
Maybe she could have done that, and her heart is down in that vault somewhere. She thinks, if I take out my heart, no one can hurt me.
Mm-hmm. But if someone finds her heart, we already know what happens if you squeeze really hard.
Yeah. Maybe that's what Emma needs to do.
Oh, poetic.
Hey, you can't see me. I was just squeezing a heart.
Maybe she could fry it up and she could eat it.
Ew.
That's just not right. I don't even...
died too.
Something that Mr. Gold would do.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Okay, I can see Gold having a Hannibal Lecter moment, but I can't see Emma having one.
No, me neither. That's just wrong, Angie.
Maybe Mary could find it and she could try to give it back to Regina and put it back in somehow. I don't know.
Maybe she finds it, right? She pokes it, thinks, what's that? And then she drops it on the floor and it's like, oops, and it cracks. And then Regina's falling on the floor, dying, frailing around. And then she comes up and sees her dead, and then she's like, oh no, did I do that? Sorry. Sorry, I just poked the squishy thing.
Never poke the squishy things.
And I just realised how wrong that sounded.
Yeah. Kind of, yeah.
Yes, moving on. Swiftly. That means stop laughing, Angie.
Deep breath. You're going to get hiccups.
Get a paper bag and breathe into it. You sound like you're hyperventilating.
I'm trying to laugh quietly.
And okay, I just want to take this opportunity to thank everybody who's checked out our new site, We Love TV, and thank you for listening to us again. We really, really appreciate you taking your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So this is Kelly,
Angie,
and
Rose,
and we're signing off for today. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.